Welcome, welcome. Welcome.
Sabrina from Houston,
Sabrina from
Texas.
Houston, Texas.
Good afternoon,
Good
Jonathan
afternoon.
Franco from Fairfield, California.
Welcome.
Good evening from Maryland, Sekou.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to tonight's presentation. Please let us know your name and where you're calling in from, and we're going to get this party started in a couple of minutes.
Great evening, Marva from Maryland.
Welcome, welcome. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, please unmute yourself and introduce yourself. Let us know your name and where you're calling in from. We're going to get this meeting started in about 2 or 3 minutes.
Hello, everybody. Matt Sistrunk from El Paso, Texas.
Welcome, Matt. How are you, brother?
Really good, brother. How are you?
If I was any better, Matt, if I was any better, my name would be Matt Sistrunk. Like that one, huh?
I like that.
Arlene Jewel, Maryland.
New York.
All right, all right, all right. Got a couple new folks coming in. Please go ahead and introduce yourself. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Introduce yourself. Let us know your name and where you're calling in from, please.
David from Whittier, California.
Welcome, David.
Idris Locker, Brooklyn, New York.
Idris, I know you're from New York, but if I didn't know with your accent, I could have guessed. It's that really cool New York accent, bro.
Nice, nice. Thank you.
No problem.
Hello, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Yes, my name is Clever from Florida.
Welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for introducing yourself, ladies and gentlemen. Introduce yourselves. Let us know your name and where you're calling in from, please.
Sarah George, Maryland.
Welcome.
Leroy Woodard, St. Louis.
Awesome. Welcome.
MP, Arlington, Texas.
What's up, MP? Welcome, brother.
Keith Williams out of New York City.
All right. Welcome. Welcome. Good to see you guys here.
Brian Calvillo, Windsor, California.
All right. Welcome. Welcome. All right, who else do we have on here? Please let us know your name and where you're calling in from.
Layla from Long Beach.
And Chris from Long Beach.
Welcome,
Nope.
welcome.
Nicole Gamble Lowe from Houston, Texas.
Okay, welcome. Houston, Texas, I'm glad you guys are on here. And I'm glad you're doing okay. We heard what happened out in Houston, man. So our prayers were with you guys. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to have you guys here. My name is JC Rangel, and we're going to get this meeting started here in 1 minute. So if you guys have any folks that you want to introduce and make sure that they get on, right now would be a great opportunity, a great time for you to make some phone calls and make sure that they get on. The information we're going to share with you guys here today, very, very powerful. I'm super excited about it. So I highly recommend that you guys, again, if you have some guests that want to get on and listen to the information, please get them on because we're going to get started very, very soon. Let's do one more round of anybody just getting on. Please let us know your name and where you're calling in from, please.
Andy, Houston, Texas.
Houston, H-Town, welcome.
Erica. Erica Williams, Houston, Texas.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Lisa from Riverside, California.
Lisa, welcome.
Well, this is Pablo. I'm in Morongo Valley.
Pablo, how's it going?
What's up, JC?
All right, good to hear from you, my friend.
Yes, sir. Likewise.
Awesome, awesome. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Francisco from Texas, welcome.
Francisco, Santa Rosa, California.
All right, welcome. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to get started. It's 5 minutes after the hour, so we want to get started. We like to take the first couple of minutes to introduce people and welcome. There'll be some more people coming in. We also want to do that to give people an opportunity to get on, but we want to be respectful of your time. So for the next 3 hours, we're going to be sharing a tremendous, just kidding. For the next 20 to 25 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be sharing some tremendous information. Here's my recommendation for tonight. My recommendation would be to take copious notes, pay 100% attention. Please go somewhere where you have no distractions, ideally, or very limited distractions, because once again, the information that you're going to hear today, this may sound cliche, and I'm going to say it at the risk of sounding cliche. However, the information that we are going to share with you today is literally changing the lives of many, many people, and we are still in our pre-launch phase as a company. Our launch event is until 37 days from now. So we've already got people making life-changing income, and I guarantee you it is worth 30 minutes of your time. So with that being said, I'd like to introduce a gentleman who not only is he one of the sharpest people I know, one of the best speakers that I know, one of the best sales professionals that I know, but just an all-around great human being, an entrepreneur. He loves to help people. He's a veteran of both of the industries, two of the industries that we're going to talk about here today. He's a veteran of these industries. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to do a mic check, and I want to see if I've got Mr. Pete Abraham on.
Mic check, mic check.
There you go, brother. The floor is yours, my friend.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. JC. I appreciate those kind words. I'd like to welcome everybody tonight. My name is Pete Abraham. I think you're in for a treat tonight. I tell you to make sure you're muted, make sure your guests are muted, and make sure you have a pencil and a pad, and make sure you can take some notes here. There's some people still coming in here, but we're going to go ahead and get started. And I'm going to bring up my screen and see if we can share my screen here for a second. Give me 1 second, folks, to bring that up. And then if we can double check that. And 1 second here.
Okay, you just want to unmute yourself, Pete? I went ahead and muted everybody, so if you could unmute yourself, that'd be great.
Recording in progress.
Okay, how's that?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right, let me get back to my screen. All right, does that show full screen?
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you, folks. Thank you. Just a little quick background about myself. My name is Pete Abraham. I spent 12 years in the United States Navy. I got out of that. I've owned a detailing business before, like most guys, you know, something like that in the past, right? And then I got into my real estate days, my real estate license, my mortgage license. That led me to also being a notary public and my life insurance license. So I can tell you that I have a lot of experience in many different things that, in my opinion, all affect, for example, a homeowner, or even if you're not a homeowner. But the reality is all these things come together. I'm not selling or sharing something with somebody that doesn't have something to do with all these areas. So tonight we're going to talk about the BYLD network. And again, I encourage you to take notes and really think to yourself, am I at the right place at the right time? What makes this different from what everybody else has been doing or what I've been doing in the past? And why not me? Why not now? So BYLD network, the idea behind that is to build your mindset, build your business, and build your net worth. Most people are okay with that. Most people could use more money. Most people wish they had a business, and a lot of people are looking for a business. And that all starts with the mindset. So who we are is literally a direct sales company and a community of like-minded entrepreneurs. I'm also involved in a chain of gyms, you know, exercise places that a lot of people don't necessarily know that. But I deal with people every day, and people come in and they have goals and they say they want something, but they're not willing to work for it. I'm telling you right now, this is about being able to want to do something, and what better do it with like-minded people who have the same goals, headed in the same direction as yourself. So why build a business? Why in 2024 should you think about building a business? Number one, I think the left says it first, because nobody's coming to save you, which means if you sit on the couch and don't do something to change something, especially in these times right now, I think you know that's a losing proposition. You have to be looking outside the box. And so entrepreneurship used to be a should, it has now become a must. And I think I put a 1 in the chat if you can agree with that, that you know, we need to do something different besides work 3 and 4 jobs just to get by. But those have been led to us by the current financial situation. If you look at debt crisis, layoffs, inflation, we all know about that, higher taxes. We live in California, we know all about that. Higher interest rates, everybody's experienced that. Look at the mortgage industry. It's affected mortgage, it's affected real estate, it's affected their commissions, right? And then bankruptcies and recession. Those are a lot of things that follow those other things. And then job displacement. When it comes to that, take a look at the screen right here. Mass layoffs. Now, there's some companies on the left, but let's go back to the top for a second. Outsourcing and AI. Who would have ever thought even 5 years ago that something like AI could affect your life in ways that you didn't even know? But Microsoft, Intel, T-Mobile, Google, 12,000 jobs. Cisco, 5% of the workforce. GM, we all know them. These are household names. And listen, these layoffs don't bring you any more income, but they put you in a situation where you have to compete with a whole bunch of other people for an interview. And God forbid you're over 30 or 40, right? So these are things that you don't control. Back in the day, my parents' day, they could control things like this a lot better. But nowadays, man, if they don't want to hire you, they're not hiring you. And if there's no jobs, what do you do? Well, we prefer to say you create your own opportunity. We live in the age of the gig economy for those people, and we have a lot of younger people on here as well. You know, all ages. That's the great thing about I love what we do, is because we can take somebody from 18 to 80 and they all have the same opportunity the same day from day one. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But what do people do when they want to start a business? They go Google something like here, and up comes a franchise that costs $2 million. Question: do you have $2 million? I'll give you a minute. They have something else that costs $250,000. You kind of like that, but it's not really a passion for you. So people end up going from Uber, Etsy, Airbnb. These are just some of the things that most people have heard about. So people want and need to make more money. So they're looking for ways to make more money in these times. And so what to look for in a business opportunity? Obviously, you want an industry with a big, huge target market and low market penetration. It does no good to get into the cell phone industry most likely right now, does it? No, everybody has them. But back in the day, they used to have the cell phone so big that you would sit it on the seat next to you and strap it in with your seatbelt. That's the way it used to be. Now there's a little thing you can barely see in your hand. So essential goods and services, what is that? Gas, electricity, and water. We all use them. We all need them. We all pay for them. Everybody can agree with that. Whether you own a home or not, you're paying for these things. The water, we can't control. The gas, as of right now, we can't control. But the one thing we can control is electricity. Tonight, you're going to learn a little bit more and take a little bit of a deeper dive into that. So you want industries that will thrive in good and bad times, not just one or the other. Everybody can make money in good times. That's like being in the mortgage industry in 2006. Remember that? Everybody and the mother getting loans. If you could fog a mirror, you got a loan. Everybody thought they were a mortgage broker. Those same people 2 years later went broke. Interesting. So when we look at industries, you want something that works in good and bad economies. So what are our services here at BYLD Network? Well, we'll talk about a couple of them here tonight and dive deeper into a couple more. First of all, you see there we have the home security, ADT, and Brinks. These are household names that everybody knows what they are. You see them on somebody's front lawn, and they're still in business many, many, many years. We also have the BYLD Rewards, travel, shopping, and saving. We'll get into that a little bit. Everybody spends money. People travel, and they all shop. And then the Smart Money Club. That's got a special place. I won't get too much into that myself tonight, but the bottom line is, wouldn't it make sense to know how to make money, keep that same money, and earn money on that, and have it working for you rather than you working for money? And last but not least, my favorite, my passion, I have 15 years in the solar industry. And in those 15 years, I've worked for 2 or 3 companies. So I didn't switch around a whole bunch, but 2 of those companies are out of business right now. Okay, and one is on our platform. So we are Encore Solar. Our division is Encore Solar, and we use Freedom Forever as our nationwide installer. And I'll talk a little bit more about that as well as we go along here. So hopefully you got your pen ready to take some notes. Again, if you're from the solar industry, welcome. If you're not, you don't have to have any solar experience. So either way, it's perfect. As long as you're coachable and willing to listen, let's get into a little bit more why solar though. Why would somebody that's used to working from home or somebody that had a job, why would you want to get in the solar industry? I'll tell you why. 130 million homes in the US, 90 million are eligible for solar, and only about 3.5 million have gone solar already. I don't know about you, but with 87 million homes are eligible and currently still without solar, that is a huge market that you could never get through before you got into a better place. Let's put it that way. So there's a lot of opportunity here, and all you have to do literally is talk to people. Okay, so put a 1 in the chat if you know somebody who hates their electric bill. I'm going to keep moving while you do that. Why solar for consumers? What's in it? We're not here just to make money or get rich or do this and that. We're here for several reasons. But what's in it for the homeowner? If there's no benefit to what you sell or share with people, like I like to say, then why do it? But we can save people up to 50% on their energy costs. That depends on several different things. Zero down with various finance options. Do you think that's important in today's economy? To have options that are zero down, various financing options, whether they want to own it, whether they want to lease it, whatever the situation might be. Another big thing, we just heard from Houston, out there in Houston. Welcome to our friends from Houston. Blackout protection. California, think of fires. Houston, think of Florida with hurricanes. Anywhere else in this nation, blackout protection, which is basically using batteries instead of depending on your utility. When they shut off, for whatever reason, they have to shut off the grid, and now you don't have any energy in your house. Tax credits, if you qualify, receive up to a 30% tax credit. That's a great value to people. An immediate increase in home value if you own the system. Man, I would rather have a house that's worth more than less. And if I can do that and cut my electric cost in the same thing, why not? So I always ask that question, why not and why not you? And then clean energy. That's just simple. That's just doing the right thing for you, your family, your grandkids, and for the planet. So a fun fact is this: in 2022, someone went solar every 44 seconds. In 2023, that number is even higher. And this year, we'll see what happens. But guess what? It's going nothing but up. So our installation partner, who installs for us? Obviously, if we're out here in California, or if you're in Florida or Houston or whatever you might be from, shout out to the East Coast as well, New York. Guess what? You're not going to come out here and install in California. Well, Freedom Forever is nationwide. And I'll show you in a minute their coverage map. So not only are they nationwide, but they are literally one of the fastest growing companies, private companies, folks, as well, to do what we do. And you'll see why we use them. We have a 25-year production guarantee. Everybody wants a guarantee. You have no guarantee right now from the utility. If they shut off, if you don't have solar and they shut off the electricity right now, it's guaranteed that you're not running anything because you have no power, unless you have a generator or something like that. But our guarantee is the best in the industry. We're the only solar panel company that 100% guarantees the amount of energy that your solar system produces. So you have guaranteed power. You have even a return of lost savings. What does that mean? That simply means that if they tell you it's going to produce a certain amount in your agreement and it produces less than that, or if they had to come out and work on the system and you lost production for that reason, something went wrong, they will actually cut a check or give you a credit for what you lost and had to pay the utility. So why wouldn't somebody be interested in what we have to do? I'll keep moving. The states we cover, I love this. I live in California. I can tell you, I haven't sold in all of them, but I probably sold in the majority of these states that you see right here. Some I'm still getting into, but actively installing the dark green. These are the locations that have the highest cost per kilowatt, which is the cost of your electricity. And it makes sense to be in these markets first. The light green is markets that regulation and things that we're doing and getting licensing and all those procedures that come with that. That's where we expand to. And then obviously the gray area, the ones that you see in the gray, are ones we're not in. Those are traditionally, in most cases, are ones that have a lower cost of electricity. Not all of them, but lower cost of electricity. So there's many factors that go into that. But Freedom currently covers 66% of the US. That's a lot of land on a big footprint for your installs. Why is that important? Because I can work from home right here in Southern California, talk to somebody over Zoom, which you're all used to because you're on one right now, and they could be in Florida, New York, Connecticut, Texas, or anywhere else. And I can talk to that person and help them go solar, literally, just like I'm doing right here tonight talking to you. I used to drive 5,000 to 6,000 miles a month. If any of my solar brothers or sisters are out there, I used to do that to go to people's houses, oil changes, brakes, tires. I'm sitting in my air-conditioned house right now, and listen, I'm talking with you, and we have people from nationwide and even out of the country doing this. Can you say that about your day job? I'll give you a minute. One of the things I like here on this next slide, this picture here, is a whole bunch of roof space, right? And if you look closely, oh, there's one with solar facing the east. There's another one there, but you'll see a lot more that do not have solar. Folks, the writing's on the wall. You get ahead of the curve in the industry, not wait till it's ahead of you. There's no money in that. So many of you, or many of us, we've done jobs before, myself included, that have gone and done a job and they pay you minimally because they can. But when you're doing something that everybody is not sure, they don't know about, they need somebody to educate them, we just educate the homeowner of why it makes sense to protect yourself, to guarantee what your payment's going to be, to avoid price increases, all the good things, maybe increase the value of your home, and never have to think about this for the next 25 years. All right, I'm going to keep moving on that. So here's a couple of testimonials just to, in case you don't come from a background of knowing even about solar. Not every state, they don't know what this is as much as other states. California, we've been the leader. Texas, Florida, leaders in this, right? But now it's expanding. The customer on the left here in California, $287 a month before solar, $148 after solar. So let me ask you a question. Which would you rather pay for the same electricity? $287 or $148? Pretty simple, folks, right? Now, here's the thing that most people might not get from that. The person on the left there that used to pay 287 and is now paying 148 is probably getting 30, 15 to 40 to maybe 50% more electricity for that same lower price. So they're living more comfortably. They're not having to keep the thermostat at 81 or run to the mall when it's hot. How many of you, if you think back and are honest, how many of you set your thermostat and you said, well, turn it off, turn the fans on, let's go to the mall, it's hot, because you didn't want that bill that was going to come during triple digits in summer. Let's be real. We have the opportunity to help people with that today. The second one here on the right-hand side, a $410 a month before solar in Florida and $290 after solar. That's a wrap. I don't have to say too much more about that, right? And I'll tell you a fun fact on the bottom here is this. One of the greatest mentors in the industry, I think that there could be, is simply this. He said this: a solar sales presentation is not a presentation, it's an IQ test. Let me read that again. A solar sales presentation is not a presentation, it's an IQ test. And I'll tell you, being in the industry for 15 years, I have a quote myself. And my quote is, some people deserve to pay full price. And we joke about that and we have fun with that. But listen, folks, if somebody won't sit down with you, give you a copy of their bill, which most people are happy to do. But if there's somebody that won't, let them pay full price. Eventually, they're going to have it. In California, by law since 2020, you can't build a new house or an ADU or all those kind of things without solar on it. The writing's on the wall. It's not if, it's not maybe. This is happening. So let me keep going and finish up with just a couple more slides here. Energy cost over time. On this slide, if you look at the bottom left, you'll see today's payment of $150, let's say, and you'll see an annual increase of 6 to 8%. So in 10 years, if you follow that $150 bill will be $300. That's double, if not faster. Now, folks, in California, 6 to 8%, that's chump change compared to what it's actually gone up. In other states on the East Coast, even more so per year. Okay, and laws changing everything else. So that $150 in 30 years will be $1,500. That's a lot of money. That's a nice car payment, folks. And you're just giving it to the electric company. How many of you did your electric company call you and ask you before they raised their rates? Did they invite you to the board meeting? Did they even give you an email that said, hey, we might do this? I guarantee on your bill in the small print that you never read, they said exactly that, and you didn't even know, you just paid it. Or in this example here, approximately, if you look at that 54,000 by going solar, it's $171,000 in savings. Would you rather give that to the utility or to your family? That's a very serious question. Also, you have the opportunity to lock in your electricity cost, no money down, and receive a 30% tax credit if you qualify for it. Folks, they're not doing anything. They're not locking in your electric cost. They're taking your money. They're adding fees, and we call them junk fees when you actually do a bill review, and they're not giving you any tax credit. Name one person that's ever gotten a tax credit off their residential electric bill right now. I'll give you a minute. Has never happened. All right. And I'll finish with this slide. Obviously, this is a very famous face. Most of you don't know me. I'm happy to be here with you. I'm happy to help you guys that speak English and Spanish. But let me tell you something about this gentleman here, Warren Buffett, one of the richest people on the planet. Energy deregulation will be the largest transfer of wealth in history. I'm going to read that one more time. Energy deregulation, aka solar, wind, all those things, will be the largest transfer of wealth in history. My question to you is, how much of that do you want to go to you instead of the utility company? So you know who he is. I'm going to take his word for it. You don't have to take mine. And now I'd like to turn it over to literally talk about how you can be involved in what we do, how the timing couldn't be more perfect, and you go outside and get a blast of heat in your face, you go running right back in, how most people in this economy need more money, not want more money, need more money, and how if you get paid faster, you can pay your bills faster, be out of debt faster, and breathe easier. Does that make sense? So with that, I'd like to turn it over to our next speaker. This gentleman, what can I say about him? I really look up to him. I'm older than him, but I love it when somebody with this youth and the passion comes in. This guy takes control. He's been a top producer in several industries, solar as well. He's a lot less years in solar than me, but made a lot more money too. And I'm proud and happy to say that, because we're looking for leaders who think outside the box. And this guy is the epitome of that. And so he'll tell his own story. But Mr. JC Rangel, you there, sir?
Yes, sir, Pete. Thank you so much, brother, for the kind words and for an incredible presentation and a lot of great information. I appreciate that very much. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited to be here. I'm not gonna take a whole lot of time on my slide, but I will break it down thoroughly. But I will say this: a lot of the things that Pete talked about here today, not only do they make a lot of sense, but if we're really paying attention, it's a little bit concerning, right? When I really started hearing a couple of years ago, maybe 5 years ago, 6 years ago, about AI, now we look at how many jobs will be lost by 2030 with AI. I realize it's time for me to get my butt in gear and go and do something. And when you also look at the signs, right? Like AI is one of those signs, but if we look at, for example, what the government is pushing, they're pushing renewable energy. They're pushing solutions for climate change. Now, whether you agree with it or not, we're not going to get into that, but I'm talking about the government is using. We are at the beginning of a tremendous wealth shift. As Warren Buffett said, this will be the largest transfer of wealth in history, and we are at the forefront. This is the equivalent of being around in the early 90s when cell phones came in and everybody had pagers. Now, I know I'm dating myself here, but that's okay. So I'm going to talk about the ways that we get paid. I won't break everything down, but I promise you, when you look at this, it's your friends, your family members, your neighbors to the left, to the right, and those in front of you, the ones in the next block, they're all going to have a solar system one way or another. In the next 10 to 20 years, they're going to be somebody's customer. They're either going to be your customer, or they're going to be my customer or somebody else's customer. Why not you get paid? And by the way, the average commission for helping somebody go solar, blessing somebody to go solar, is $7,000. $7,000, right? I helped 2 people on Monday go solar, right? It's a great living that you can make. Now, granted, do we have to learn some stuff? Of course. That's why we've got the trainings, the support, the certifications to show people how to be successful. So with that being said, Pete did a great job of driving that point home. Okay, but today I'm going to talk about, the compensation plan. So the company pays us 70% of the profit. So BYLD Network has a solar division called Encore Solar. Encore Solar says, listen, whatever the profits of the job are, we will pay you 70% of that, which equals, if the average profits are $10,000, that means that 70% of that equals $7,000. That's the average commission, right? Now, here's the thing. Your first 3 sales, if you are brand new, you have to do 3 sales, 50-50 split sales with a mentor, somebody that helps you design the proposal, read the bill, present it, close the deal. Now, the commission gets split in half. The mentor gets half, and you as a new person get half. These are called your training sales, right? So everybody has to do 3 50-50 split training sales. Now, solar pros, it's a different subject. They don't have to do that. But people that are new have to do 3 50-50 split sales. Now, think of the situation. When I was a new mentor, I remember in 2020, I got started in this industry 2 weeks after the pandemic. But when I became a new mentor, I had a lady ask me, hey, would you help me closing my first 3 sales? I said, yes. She brought me her son, her daughter, and her brother-in-law. In a 10-day period, ladies and gentlemen, I helped her close her son, her brother-in-law, and her daughter. We each made about $10,000 in commissions in a 10-day period, all from home via Zoom. We've got a gentleman that closed 28 mentor sales in the month of March. So do the math. I'm not going to tell you how much money that is. We all have a calculator on our phone, but 28 times 3,500 is I'll just say, I think it's safe to say that's a pretty penny. That's a good year that month. So check this out. How do you become a mentor? That is an opportunity that exists with our company as well. Well, once you do your 3 50-50 split sales, then after that, you close 5 sales on your own. You now take a company test and certification. You pass that. you become a mentor. Now, anybody in the entire company can select you to close their sales. Now, if you show yourself to be professional, reliable, and able to close a sale, if you show that that is you, guess what? They're going to continue to ask you to close their sales. And that is, so let's look at an example. That is not a pie in the sky example by any means. What if you were already a mentor and you helped 4 consultants close their first 3 sales? 4 times 3 equals 12 sales. The average split commission, 50-50 split commission equals $3,500. 3,500 times 12 equals $42,000 in commissions. That's not too shabby. Again, remember, that's 12 sales. I just said earlier that we have a gentleman that closed 28 of these sales in March. He probably closed another 15 or 16 the next month. And he's closing deals like every day or every other day. The potential, what I'm trying to say, and this is all from home, the potential here is tremendous. I'm going to put it to you like this, because sometimes if you're anything like me, it takes a while for certain things that make a lot of sense to catch up and make sense. Think about this. When we're talking about solar, ladies, and by the way, solar is not the only thing we sell. We sell home security as well, commercial solar, and some very exciting things, high-ticket things coming down the line very, very soon. But when people go out there and sell, like, let's say, a cable service or a life insurance or some of these other services, usually they're extra expenses. A solar system replaces a bill they have always had, a bill they will always have, and a bill that will always go up over time. Like we just showed you guys those examples. $278 a month went down to $148. That's not too bad, right? Why would I want to pay nearly $280 a month when I can pay $148 for the same thing that's better and cleaner? It is not a hard sale. And here's the thing. We all know we're talking about real estate type of commissions, Every single one of you know 5 to 10 real estate agents. Every single one of you guys know. Hardly anybody knows one solar pro. So we have a lot less competition. I'll tell you what the numbers are. For every one solar specialist, there's about 50 real estate agents. For every one solar specialist, there's about 50 real estate agents. So we have a lot less people to compete against. A real estate agent, for example, is looking for people that want to buy or sell a property. We are looking for people that have a bill, an electric bill over $100 on average. So we have a lot less people to compete against, and we have more people to sell to, right? And it is the easiest sale in the world, right? That's why I'm sharing. That's why I'm so incredibly passionate. That's why we are growing. Our people are so passionate because we see the opportunity at hand. Now, here's the deal. I think it's simple. I don't think it's easy, because easy would imply that you could get a sale done and make money without really trying. No, you've got to put forth some effort. You've got to put forth some consistency. You've got to learn some stuff. But the potential, ladies and gentlemen, I believe that we are in the modern day gold rush. Now, perfect segue. Zig Ziglar has a famous quote that I love. He says, "You will get all that you want in life if you help enough people get what they want." So for those of you guys that say, listen, I love making great money. I love those commissions. That sounds good. I know homeowners. I know people that know homeowners, and the big commissions are great, but talk to me about the walkaway money. Talk to me about the passive income, the residual income. Well, we're going to talk about the brokerage model here. Now, we're going to show you the tremendous amount of money can be made for those of you guys that decide to build a team. So whenever we get started, we all start off as a consultant, and we earn a 20% override on anybody that we personally introduce. So let's say I get Josh started in the business. He makes a sale with a mentor, $7,000 commission. He makes $3,500. His mentor makes $3,500. That's a $7,000. Now, it doesn't affect their commission. The company, from their 30%, they pay me 20% of that, which is about $600 to $1,000. So if I brought Josh in, Josh made a sale, he made his money, I made $600 to $1,000 on Josh and everybody else that I personally introduce. Now, check this out. Once myself and my team combined, once we are doing 10 sales, 10 installs, not in 1 month, but in a 60-day period, in a 2-month period, 60 days, I get promoted to manager. Not just my sales, not just my team sales, our sales combined. I get promoted to manager. And that is a lifetime rank. So once I get promoted to manager, I always earn a 30% override on people I introduce. So if I introduce Josh one more time, Josh makes a sale, I'm no longer making 600 to 1,000. I'm making between 1,000 and 1,500 approximately forever on everybody I personally introduced. And anybody they introduce, whether it's level 2, level 6, level 8, or level 27, doesn't matter. I make a 10% override. It is such a powerful compensation plan. Some of you guys are going to say, I don't understand it. It's okay. We have a compensation plan training that breaks down the details. We're not going to do that now for the sake of time. But now you make a 30% override on level 1 and a 10% override on everybody below level 1. Once you go and continue to work, and let's say you get to director. And I'm going to show you guys what it takes to get to these ranks. It's not really that hard. 24 sales installs in a 60-day period, you move up to director, lifetime rank. That means you'll always get paid as director. Here's what happens. You now earn a 30% override on level 1 and a 15% override on everybody underneath them. Once you get to executive director, that's 70 installs. In my last company, before this company, my team was doing over 110, between 100 and 130 installs every month. So this is 70 installs in a 60-day period. So it's a lot easier. Now you earn a 40% override on level 1 and 20% override on the entire rest of your team. But here's what happens. You now override the entire company sales, 2% of the entire company sales. Now you're not only getting paid on your organization, but on everybody else. And the national director, executive and national director, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about yearly income on a monthly basis, passively. We're not talking about active income, what you're doing, but passive income. Let me give you some examples. Let's say you get promoted to the manager rank, the first rank. Let's say you manage to grow a team of 10. Not 10 people you introduced, but maybe you introduce a couple folks who introduced a couple of folks, and they all did one sale. Let's say out of that one sale, 4 of them came, out of those 10 sales, 4 of them came from your first level. The other 6 came anywhere underneath there. Doesn't matter how many levels deep. Your overrides in that scenario are approximately $6,300 in overrides. And this is no sales done by you. No mentor sales, no personal sales. This is strictly your team sales. Now, what if you did do a sale yourself? Well, you add an extra $7,000 because that's the average commission. You're at $13,300 for the month on average as a manager. Ladies and gentlemen, 3% of America, less than 3% of America make this kind of money with our first rank. We're not talking a whole bunch of sales. And it doesn't have to be 10 consultants. It can be 5 consultants that did 2 sales. At the end of the day, still 10 sales, right? You could have done 5 of them yourself and your team did. If you did 5 of them yourself, you'd make significantly more than this. But I'm just giving you an example. What if that same team, ladies and gentlemen, of 10 did 2 sales instead of 1? Let's say they got motivated. They talked to a couple more folks. They passed out their business cards. They went to some networking events. They took it more seriously. You're looking at $13,800 in overrides. In overrides without you selling solar. And ladies and gentlemen, I personally experience this. I personally experience almost yearly income on a weekly basis at times. Yearly income on a weekly basis at times because of a team, right? Because just like a real estate broker has the option to introduce other people to the industry, train them, coach them, help them, you have the opportunity to do that as well. But you're not the only one that's training, coaching, and helping. We have a system in place to train, coach, and help the people you introduce. And guess what? You make the override because that is the way our compensation plan is structured. Now, once again, if you added 1 sale yourself, you're at over $20,000 in commissions. That is amazing. I've been involved in direct sales for 22 years. I've never seen something that has a potential. And here's the thing. This is not a theory. This is something, these numbers are stuff that we are proving to be true right now. And we've proven it to be true with a prior company, and it's already happening in our company right now. Right now, is this going to happen overnight? No, it doesn't happen overnight. It takes some work. It takes learning the business. But the potential, ladies and gentlemen, is tremendous because keep this in mind. America will go solar. In California, you cannot build a new home, for example, unless it has solar panels. Here in California, since 2020, you go out there and buy a lot and build a home on that lot. The government says, whoa, 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 where are the panels? You cannot even complete this job until you put panels on there. That is a law that's been in place for more than 4 years. And this is trickling into other states. In California, by 2045, everybody must have solar in the Golden State. By 2035, they're not even going to sell gas-powered vehicles here anymore, ladies and gentlemen. My point is this. Helen Keller has a famous quote that said, I would rather have vision than sight. Sight is seeing what's in front of me and what most people are blessed with. Vision is seeing the unseen done. Like Henry Ford in the early 1900s said, one day everybody will have a car, and people say, you're crazy. There's no roads, there's no gas stations. How is that possible? Did that become true? Yes, that's right. He's one of the people in the history books that till this day, we still talk about one of the richest men in the world. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the world, America is going renewable energy with or without you, with or without me. And I want to be a part of it, right? We also offer home security. So not only do you get your own solar business with the #1 installer in America, but you also get to participate in offering home security through ADT and rates. Now, how do you get started? There's 3 options. You can become an affiliate for free. That's somebody just refers people. I want to refer people, make a referral bonus of $500 to $1,000. Great. You get your own back office for free. You can enter your leads. You could track your leads, get paid. Or maybe you're somebody says, I want to be a consultant and I want to own my solar brokerage. Month 1, it is $149. After that, it is $49 per month. That gets you your nationwide solar brokerage, your nationwide home security business, all the tech, all the certification, all the training, your own marketing website, your own encoresolar.com website, your own Build Network website, and so many other things. And if you refer 4, you pay no more. If you refer 4 people on the same membership or greater, your monthly fees are waived. Now, the last option is a builder option, which we're going to break down today. This is what 85% of people in our company opt to get. $199 once and $99 a month. What does that give you? It gives you everything the consultant membership gives you, in addition to the Build Rewards membership, the Smart Money Club, and so much more. I'm going to take another 3 minutes to break this down, but it also gives you the residual income. See, there's passive income where we get paid based on sales happening in our organization, but there's also residual income, money that we get paid from our existing customers. And that's exciting because if you have, and do me a favor, let's participate here. Put a #1 in the chat if you have residual bills. If any of you guys have any bills that come in every month, whether you have money or not, I'd like you to put a 1 in the chat. So here's my question. Obviously, everybody's putting a 1 in the chat, right? The question is this. If you have residual bills, ladies and gentlemen, why would you not have residual income? I believe everybody should have residual income. A mentor asked me a long time ago, JC, do you know what residual income is? I said, yes. He says, do you have any? I said, no. He says, and you must not know what residual income is. He says, if you knew what residual income was, you would run through a brick wall to get it. That's what we're going to talk about here today. So, ladies and gentlemen, the first thing that comes in addition to everything else, with a $99 membership, you get the Smart Money Club. I think we can all agree that the children of the wealthy are taught things that the rest of us are not taught. For example, one of the things that comes in the financial mastery is this: credit repair and credit building. The founder of the company, my partner, says, JC, it is not enough to give people this opportunity. They're going to make a lot of money, but we got to teach them what to do with that money. We got to teach them how to have the proper credit and build their credit, tax planning, how to be their own bank. This is one of the secrets of the rich, of how to be your own bank, how to use your dollar twice, how to set yourself up for tax-free retirement. We got to show them how to set up the proper business entity. Most real estate agents, most sales professionals get paid to their own social security number instead of to the proper entity. You got sometimes the boss of the company that has the big body Mercedes or BMW $100,000 car, pays less money for that car than the employee that drives a Camry. Nothing against a Camry, it's a great car. I'll just give you an example, right? How is that possible? How come the boss actually pays less money for the $110,000 vehicle than the employee does? Because he's got the proper entity structure. Then guess what? They don't teach you in school because the school teachers were not business owners. They were employees that were never taught this in the school system. They never even taught us how to do a resume properly, how to interview for a job. So the proper entity structure, how to establish corporate credit, and how to access capital. I'm talking about tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars of capital. The difference between good and bad credit and much, much more. So this is a community of people that are taught by experts on how to build wealth regardless of where you're at. You get your own dashboard where it shows where you're at and what your goals are by what age and if you're on track or not. And guess what? Most people are not on track. As a matter of fact, most people don't even have a plan. Like if you don't know where you're going, any road will get you there. Where will you, by when do you want to retire? With how much money do you need to retire? And are you on track? And if not, here's what you need to do to be on track. And we give you the business to do it. So it's realistic and we're not guessing. Anyways, I could go so deep on the Smart Money Club. Matter of fact, I have my Smart Money Club over here. It's on top of my pool table. I should have put that hat on right now. I just got it from my partner today. So the Smart Money Club, in addition to the Smart Money Club, you get the BYLD Rewards membership. This is a tremendous benefit. All of your booking from airplane tickets to hotels, to car rentals, to restaurants, retailers. Now you get to save on everything. My wife and I, we took our kids and my mom to Palm Springs this weekend. And she booked the plane, the hotel for 3 nights. It was $1,010, right? It's a beautiful resort in Palm Springs. They have a lazy river, all kinds of stuff. The kids had a great time. So we went out there for the weekend. It was $1,010. I said, let me check through my BYLD Rewards app if it's cheaper. So it was $1,010. I checked through the BYLD Rewards app, the same room, the same weekend, same hotel, same everything, identical. It was $906. Okay, so I'm saving $104. I mean, it's not a whole lot of money. I'm not rich because of that $100, but guess what? If you found $104 right now, would you be happy? Of course, right? So it's something that I'm buying anyways. I'm using anyways. The other day I went to a barbecue place here. I think it's called Dickie's Barbecue, right? I go there, say, I like to read this. They say, oh, whatever meal you get a free sandwich with a free barbecue sandwich with it. Cool, I'll take it. I'm going to spend the money. I'm going to have lunch here anyways. Sure, get me the meal that I'm going to get. And yeah, I'll go ahead and redeem that extra sandwich. Why not, right? And I'm talking about thousands and thousands of name brands. So it's not 50,000 restaurants, it's 50,000 restaurant brands, right? So that means millions of locations. As a matter of fact, the average person saves between $2,500 and $3,500 a year with this membership and more than pays for the $99 membership. So to wrap this up, ladies and gentlemen, this membership is a $99 membership. It has all of those benefits that, again, I did not do them justice. I breezed through this information, but here's what happens. You are now a customer of the Smart Money Club. So there's a residual income that comes with this. So most people opt to go for the $99 membership. Once your team reaches 10 members on the left team and 10 members on the right team, there's only 2 teams. There's the left and the right. You now make $500 a month. Now, here's the deal. Maybe you didn't introduce the 10 yourself. That's not what I'm saying. Maybe you introduced Dayan and you introduced Art. And they went crazy and they started introducing people, selling solar, introducing people to the business, and your team reached 10 and 10. You only introduced 2, but they introduced the rest. You got 10 and 10. All of a sudden, you get a check in the mail for $500. And you say, what in the world is this for? Oh, that is your residual check. I don't know if you guys know, but Elvis Presley last year made somewhere of about $40 million. Last year. Guess what? It's not because he's out here singing. He hasn't been for a long time. It's because of royalties. It's because of residual income. Now, once those teams reach 25 members on the left and 25 members on the right, your residual income goes up to $1,000 per month. And as you can see, once it continues to grow, it goes to 2,000, 4,000. The last rank is the executive 250 rank, and that pays $250,000 per month. We already talked about a lot of money before this. This is extra money. This is a base residual income. And we already have people making these residual income, and we're still in pre-launch. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a check match bonus. We're not going to cover that. There's a coded bonus. We're not going to cover that. That could be covered in the training. I think we've covered enough. We've been on here. I want to be respectful of everybody's time. We want to be finished at a decent time. So everything that we covered here today, ladies and gentlemen, you get for the builder membership, $199 one time, month one. And then after that, starting month two, it is $99 per month. Gives you everything and more that you see on here. It gives you your solar brokerage, your home security brokerage, the Smart Money Club, and the Bill Rewards app. If you refer 4, you pay no more, but you still have the benefits. You still have your business. The ideal thing is to get started, go through the certification, go through the training. The idea here, I've got a gentleman who got started and in his first month made 2 sales, made about $7,000, referred his 4. So he had no overhead starting month 2 and made $7,000 his first month. And he's well on his way to make passive and residual income. So the potential is tremendous. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, what I would encourage you to do is to talk to the person that invited you and let them know whether there's 3 kinds of people. There's an A, B, and C. A person stands for action, activity. Where's the application, right? I'm ready to get started. I want to sign up as a consultant or as a builder or whatever the case may be. The A person stands for action. The B person is the B stands for but. I'm interested, but I've got some questions. If that's you, you're in the right place. We'll get your questions answered. Call the person that invited you and they'll get your questions answered, or they'll connect you with somebody to get your questions answered. And the person C is somebody that says, listen, see you later. No, just kidding. A person C is someone that says maybe they want to be a customer. But at the very, very least, ladies and gentlemen, everybody here, if the business is now for you, become an affiliate for free. You know people that are going to go solar regardless. Why not make an extra $1,000 just for simply referring them and having us help them go solar? So anyways, let the person know that invited you, whether you're A, B, or C. And with that being said, I appreciate you guys. I'll see you at the top or from the top. Take care.